Henry from Haiti when he is ruling with no mandate in contravention of the Haitian Constitution, and when he's been implicated in, I think you would admit, very serious crimes, including the murder of a Haitian journalist just this February by Haitian police.
So we'll have plenty of opportunity, I think, in the days ahead to talk about the summit, the participation in the summit, who's here, who's not. In Haiti, we continue to work for a transition that leads to appropriate elections that are supported by all the Haitian people. We continue to work to deal with gang violence that is afflicting the country and is doing terrible damage to the Haitian people. We continue to work to try to find ways to support the Haitian people who are born more than their share of trouble in the last years, both human and naturally made. So in all of these ways, we're working, including with partners in our hemisphere, to try to support the Haitian people, but we want to see them have a truly representative government, and that goes down the path of getting to new elections in the coming time.
But Prime Minister Henry is refusing to negotiate with civil society. Again, he is actually governing with no constitutional mandate. His government has been implicated in many different crimes, including potentially the murder of the past president. You yourself have said in your speech here today and in previous statements that countries like Venezuela, Cuba, Nicaragua, who you mentioned, are being excluded from the Summit of the Americas because you deem them to not be democratic. But how can you use that as your justification when you have the so-called Prime Minister of Haiti, who is ruling under no sort of democratic mandate here, despite the fact that this is well known in terms of the repression of journalists, the repression of protesters, and his previous involvement in the coup against President Aristide, that the New York Times has at least alleged the United States government was supportive of.
Again, we, like many other countries, are determined to get into the facts of what happened in Haiti, including the assassination of the previous Prime Minister. We're determined to find the facts wherever they lead and to whomever they lead.
Okay, and now we would like to get started on our conversation that we have planned here today. Yes, I'm excited to get started on this, and I think everyone will enjoy it as well.
And we'll have more time, of course, to answer these questions after the discussion.
We'll be happy to follow up with these questions.
For sure.
Thank you.
Blinken, what about Shireen Abu Akleh? She was murdered by Israeli forces. Right? CNN just agreed to this. These are your two greatest allies in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia.
Again,
murdered American journalists, and there have been absolutely no repercussions. And you're sitting up here talking about the freedom of press and democracy. The United States is denying sovereignty to tens of millions of people around the world with draconian sanctions for electing leaders that you do not like. Why is there no accountability for Israel or Saudi Arabia for murdering journalists? It is one of the most dangerous places in the world to be a journalist in Palestine.
I deplore the loss of Shireen. She was a remarkable journalist, an American citizen, as you all know, and there too, we are determined to follow the facts and get to the truth of what happened to her. No, they have not yet been. No, I'm sorry, with respect, they have not yet been established. We're looking for. No, they have not. We were looking for an independent, credible investigation. When that investigation happens, we will follow the facts wherever they lead. It's as straightforward as that. That has not yet happened, but it's something that we very much want to see happen.
And we'll have time after the panel, of course, to talk more about this. Yeah. But Madison, go ahead.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us here tonight. I'm super honored and excited to be here. Now, one thing you mentioned in your remarks, which I want to talk about a little more, is the safety issues in journalism. Journalists in countries, including democracies, put their safety and lives on the line in order to do their job. And I know you talk about it a little bit in your remarks, what the U.S. is doing, but what more do you think needs to be done to